But he's flying! Yes! There's history!
Now in front, the crowd roaring, go, Lonro, go, but the 3-year-old's in front, Del's here, Lonro, he's coming, he's going to get there, yes, Lonro won it! Proud by My Whisper, My Whisper won the last.
Welcome, punters, to another episode of the Whispers Racing Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Matty. How are you, Matty?
Going well, Worm. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. I've got about 5 different screens going. British Open, women's soccer, cricket, dog racing on a Thursday night. So if I look away from the camera, something's got me.
That's all right, mate. How many has Sam Kerr kicked?
Yeah, she's kicked 0. She's got the old woman's injury, the calf.
Oh, come on, mate. It's a bit of a shame. Hopefully she's back after, I think they said she's going to miss 2.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, especially everything's centered around her and having a big campaign. And yeah, it's a shame for anyone that's bought tickets to go see her the first 2 rounds.
Or included her in the weekend multi.
Yeah, well, to kick none for the whole series, but that's the that's my bet for the weekend. Obviously, last week we took a little hiatus just to freshen up, ready for the big spring that we're going to have ahead. Yeah, glad we took the week off. It was rather tough off-peak racing, but again, we do it again. We will preview Caulfield Race 4 and Rosehill Race 9. Obviously, again, bets around the grounds, multi and pineapple of the week. And there was a pineapple Matty missed in Sydney.
Yeah, IG buy. A little bit disappointing. It raced didn't pan out how I was expecting it to, but look, there was probably 3 or 4 I could have chosen from the pineapple, and I think when we've spoken about it, that's just the time of year that we're in at the moment. You've either got the horses that are trying to be educated, some of these 2 and 3 year olds, and to see if they've got any chance of racing in the spring, or some of these horses who may be a little bit older and just trying to build the purse.
Yeah, I think building the purse is the way I'll see it. Yeah, it'd be good because we're just around from I was just reading a few articles this week, like Goldman set the trial on tomorrow, Friday. So, yeah, jump outs are going to be massive leading up in the next month or so. It's going to be, exciting because the good horses are back.
Well, that's it. I'd expect kind of last weekend, this weekend, next weekend, and potentially the first weekend in August to be a little bit average. But from there, I think we'll find some of the bigger names that we expect to be in the Group 1 races starting to find their way back to the races, which will be nice to talk about.
Yeah, it's a year of who wants to be the number 1 horse, number 1 weight for age horse, the number 1 sprinter. I think that's what we're all looking forward to because we really don't know who's it going to be. There's no clear standout. Obviously, Giga Kick might be the one, but you never know. He might not come back as well, and someone fresh on the radar might come.
Don't know about you, but I won't be backing against Giga Kick.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm mixed about it. Like I was talking to a guy that I talked to about horse racing, and it's wish I win. And Giga Kick do have bad manners of coming out near last and being, coming from behind. And I like horses up on speed, so yeah, it's just I'm not going to take them on and say lay them, but yeah, I just don't like horses that do it. Look at Black Caviar, just up front, Winks up front. Good horses up front.
Good to hear you talking about Giga Kick in the same breath as those two.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to because it probably can put 5 in a row and be the best horse up there. We could be talking as the best sprinter up behind Black Caviar and Nature Strip. That's one thing. It's just, what's it going to do mid-run because it came from near last in the Everest. It's
As well, we did wonder why Craig Williams was going up to the Everest on it. He answered that question pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, a smart man, and you follow the smart man, you will be making money.
As I said, I'm definitely looking forward to next month as we start to talk about a few of these horses come back.
Yeah, definitely. And same with the jockeys, like they're starting to come back now. and you just got to be tread carefully with these jockeys that are coming back. Your Willows, your Ollies, your Childs this week. They haven't ridden for a while. Yeah, they've done jump outs, but it's no race fitness and getting your eye in of putting them in good spots. So you just got to tread carefully here. And yeah, a few of them might be just going around to get their eye in before the spring kicks off. So it's
Did I
another
see Ollie
little.
have a City winner last week?
Did Ollie?
Yeah,
Yes, he
I think
did.
he did. Yeah, good to see him back.
Yeah, bloody oath. He's closer to retirement than Group 1 wins, I reckon. So that's just my opinion. That's so hard to racing rank. It's just, mate, he's got to get in there hard, and he's had a holiday golfing around America, so he's got to pay for it.
Very true.
I'm sure it wouldn't come much of out of his pocket anyway.
Mate, someone of Ollie's stature, wouldn't be surprised if he finds one more Group 1.
Yeah, I hope he does. He's going to be one of the legends of our sports, and it'd be sad to see that day go. But we move on. Talking points, Matty. You want to kick things off?
I do, yes. Unfortunately, we didn't get to talk about it last week. No, I know your thoughts early on in the season on Kenna Hinkley. I would like to understand your thoughts now, and how close is he to signing for the Gold Coast Suns?
If you go 2 weeks ago, I would say he's $1.0001 to re-sign with Port Adelaide on a 2-year deal. But a loss last week, a potential loss this week.
Ooh.
Still got to play Geelong down at Geelong. August is what I was hearing, the re-signing of that 2-year deal. Now Stewie Jews parted ways. I wonder if a 5-year deal at Gold Coast would be more advertising, even though everyone's telling you Hardwick's going there.
Okay, so a loss last week, a loss this week. You got to play Geelong down in Geelong.
Yep.
Okay, so is top 4 a risk for your team?
No, we're not risking that. I still think we can finish top 2.
Okay.
With results going our
I'll
way.
put this to you. You've still got another showdown, don't you?
Yep, we're okay. We'll cover them.
If you do potentially lose the showdown, is Kenny getting another deal?
No, we don't lose to them. They're not much chop. They've finished. They're thinking about their next camp in the preseason. But yeah, I don't want them to pull the trigger yet. If they do, I'm fine with it. But I just think there's a lot more open ideas to have and just see where we end up. We could go out in straight sets and we're signed him to a 2-year deal. Now, there's plenty of other coaches out there that are potential ones like Hardwick. He might want to come to us. It's probably 100 to 1, but yeah, I just think hold off.
Okay. Oh, interesting. You're 13 wins in a row, 1 loss, and the place starts shaking. Kenny will stay. He will be there next year.
Look, I hope he is. He deserves it, I think. He's worked hard this year, but I just don't want to pull that trigger too early because, something's telling me that loss last week, I saw it coming. I wasn't confident, but that was a bad loss, not a good loss.
You played a very good team.
Yeah. It's April Fool's Day. It must be. No, Carlton played well and they've been playing well, so they deserve that win, but not by that much.
All right. Where are we going?
All right. It's more about news this week. What's out there? I see Damian Lane set to return to our riding ranks in August, which I'd love to see. I rate him top 3 in my top 3 jockeys in Victoria. The big jockeys, of course, not the Sydney ones, but I just love how he puts them in races. So I'll be keen to be looking for his horses when he comes back to riding in August. I'm a big fan of him.
And done exceptionally well with his little stint overseas as well.
Yeah, I think he's doing our racing justice over there by trying to bring him over here. I think he'd be having those combos every weekend with him saying, hey, come to Melbourne. You can pinch $5 million in the Caulfield Cup.
Absolutely. There's some decent money up for grabs this spring.
Yeah, so good on him. Romantic Warrior, which is if you listen to or watch his podcast, we break news every week. We knew Romantic Warrior was coming, but he's arriving September, and he's going to have a first up tilt at the Turnbull Stakes at Flemington October 7th with the mission of the Cox Plate. So I think that's great. I don't mind seeing internationals have one start before their grand final. Would you head out there, Matty, to go see him at Turnbull Stakes Day?
Mate, I think Turnbull Stakes is one of the most underrated race meets of the entire spring. Just after the footy's finished, I think it's an absolutely cracking way to kick off the spring racing carnival. I know it's not the start of the spring racing carnival, but it's always a cracking day.
Yeah, yep. No, it might actually get me out there, Flemington. I'm not a big fan, as we know, of Flemington, but to see this horse up close, personal, and see where it's at. And it'd be interesting to see how it goes against its, killed Hong Kong Racing. Smashed it. It'd be interesting to see how it goes against our lot. I don't know how to rank them yet because we don't know.
It's going to be interesting to see which ones come remain in Melbourne, come down from Sydney to Melbourne for races like the Turnbull, considering the prize money on offer up there as well.
Oh, I could see the headlines: Cascadian versus Romantic Warrior.
Perfect. I can see it right now.
Fuck, I'd be there in a heartbeat. I'd buy my Cascadian hat and we'll be off and going. Melbourne Cup focus. We talked about Francesco Guardi. I just got an article saying all roads point to the Melbourne Cup. It did have minor procedure, which we were hinting at, and they just said there's no issue there. It just had to be done. The horse is ready to go this spring. Wowee, if it brings that Moonee Valley Cup run, geez, would it be... Well, do you reckon off that Moonee Valley Cup run last year, it would have won last year's Melbourne Cup?
Oh, no, I don't think it would have won the Melbourne Cup, but it would have been in the top three.
Yep.
It was exceptionally impressive.
Yep. I'm with you on top three. So hopefully it probably had a nice little break. And again, we don't know where our stayers are at. Well, we do. They're poo. So it'd be interesting to see how Francesco Guardi goes.
Mate, I reckon you say that every year around about this time.
Yep.
And there's who came second and third in last year's Melbourne Cup?
High Emotion and the Maroney horse.
Yeah, so a Geelong Cup winner and a Bendigo Cup winner.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying they're the strongest form lines.
No, they're not.
There are always horses from Melbourne that perform exceptionally well within the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, and the Melbourne Cup, first, second, third, didn't win a race in the autumn.
That's okay.
Hey, I'll take a Melbourne Cup every day of the week, no issue.
Absolutely.
But it's just,
absolutely.
You only get one crack, I reckon, at the Melbourne
Cup. You've got to be ready for that one race.
Yeah.
And I think the trainers do an exceptional job of getting horses set for races these days.
Yeah, Kieran Maher goes okay.
Does go okay. Anything from his stable you like?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
There might be a couple. But it's just, you get one crack in the Melbourne Cup, I reckon, each year, because your horse sort of is cooked afterwards because it's such a high rating race. Takes a lot out of him. And Francesco Guardi, your Goldmans, your White Marlins potentially, Luna Flare, like that. They're good horses. Don't get me wrong. That is probably our best stayers, but they drop away pretty quick after that.
I don't disagree, but again, don't write off some of these up and comers, potentially lighter weighted horses that have been proven in the Melbourne Cup.
Yep, 100%. Hopefully, I'd love to be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I'm trying to be as positive as I can.
Well, you called them poo, so I don't think you are.
It's a nice word to use, Matthew, again, around kids watching. I know your kids watch every morning, so poo.
I do indeed.
And last to finish off, I reckon this is great news. It's probably 2 years late, but racing.com has moved to HD with Foxtel and KO. So thank you. Finally, I chucked it on and geez, it looked bloody awesome. And I know it's not easy, and it is cost, a lot of cost around and all that. And we're, as a industry, we're quite easy to jump on and bag the industry. But thank you.com, aka Channel 7, for doing it, because it's just going to make it more enjoyable to watch on a Saturday and throughout the week.
Absolutely. Yeah, hats off.
Guys, subscribing to our YouTube and podcast platform, please do this. If you are first time listener, welcome and hope you enjoy. Podcast platform, it's on any of those podcast platforms. If you're on Spotify, please rate us. We'd love to get our rating up and expand our audience. And YouTube, just please subscribe to that too, so you can get them as they drop on a Thursday night. You can also jump on TikTok. We're on that too, where we do tip sheets, and I put up my thoughts on a Saturday as well. So there's plenty of winners on that. And thank you to everyone that's liked and commented. I get a lot of interaction off there of people's thoughts, which is good. I love to interact with others, right, wrong, and yeah. Again, we do this for it's all free, guys. It's no hidden paywalls. Everything we do is free. So please subscribe and rate us. That is the way we want to do this. If you want to be part of the Whispers WhatsApp group, please DM one of us. We'll put you straight through and we'll chuck you through. We just had a new addition a couple of weeks ago, Harrow. So thank you for jumping on board. And hopefully we can find plenty of winners, because it's been a good month as Australia are going for a penalty to go 1-0 up. This would be interesting. Track stats, Caulfield, back to Caulfield, second up, 6-meter rail. Bit of rain around tonight, 1 to 5 mil. It depends how much we get. If we get the lower side, I think we'll be on a good track, so that'd be great to see. If we get the higher 5, we might be in the soft 5. So it's a definite watch and act, because if it's good, it'll be close to the rail. If it's soft, they probably edge off later in the day. But 6-meter rail, horses on speed, classic Caulfield. And previewing Caulfield race 4 and Rosehill race 9, I'll kick things off as they score a goal. Well done. That is, look at that, going off her tits. Good on her. Probably not the right words to use in women's soccer, but good on me. Caulfield race 4. Jesus Christ. It's the 2-year-old race over 1,400 metres here. We got our favourite here, Molly Nickers. Jeez, this is good leadway into women's soccer. Molly Nickers, 225. Inexorable, 460. Ingenuous, $7. Balgowan, $9.50. Gonski, $12. And following C, $12. 5-star King, $12. And you can have 27 plus the final 2. Speed map here. Molly Nickers here from barrier 1. I feel will hunt up here and take the lead. Following C, I feel will sit outside leader off the jump outs I've seen. And McAvoy, I think I don't think, but I believe they like to be up on speed as well with their first starters, especially 2-year-olds. So I see that sitting outside leader. Ingenuous from 9. They could be 3 wide, no cover here, but I feel they could push forward and probably lead. And if that's the case, Molly Nickers, I reckon, can take a sit behind them. Balgowan and Only the Best with low draws will get the perfect run in transit. Gonski has a wide barrier here, but the change of jockey here in Robbie Downing to Blake Shin could be interesting here, because our speed map could be thrown out the door here with Blake Shin maybe rolling forward, because he likes to put his horses up on speed. So that wouldn't shock me, but it would definitely throw everything out the window pretty quick. Pace-wise, I don't think they go too quick, because a lot of these horses are 1,400 first time. I think a lot of them want to see if it's going to make the if they're going to make the distance. So I just see a nice, steady, even to slow pace up front. In saying all that, Molly Nickers is the one I'm keen to be here. Great debut at Moe on a heavy 9, sat near the rear, won quite easily, which is quite hard to do at Moe. It normally favours horses up on speed. And I think it had more to give after the line. I just think it was a couple of slaps and woke the horse up. Running real low 12 seconds for every 1,200 metre sectional on a heavy 9 tells me this horse has talent. With Carleen Heffley on board from barrier 1, they should just roll forward, lead, but worst case scenario, sit behind the leaders. I feel we're the best horse in the race with huge improvement to come and might be one we follow into the early part of the spring. Danger here is inexorable. Huge run at Ballarat, sitting near last on the synthetic at Ballarat. This time of year, these horses that win well on the synthetic then always come to Metro Grade on a Saturday, and they just don't go any good. So it's a big negative here, but he came from last, top 10 in sectionals coming home for the meeting. Good sign. Map is a touch worry here because if Childs is sleepy at the reins, he could be 3 wide, no cover here, and I think that costs it. It will cost it the race. 1,400 metres, as you know, on the maps. It's just a turning circle until they get along the side, and you don't want to be 3 wide, especially if they're closer to the rail, favoured. So, yeah, a few negatives there, but totally respect the horse. It was a great debut at Ballarat Synthetic. Gonski and Balgowan, both coming out of the same race, heavy track, going back onto a better track here now, first time, both at double figure odds. I think we've got to respect them. And if you like playing your exotics, they're 2 you must add because heavy track to good track or soft 5, yeah, they can improve. But very keen here, Molly Knickers for race 4. Matty.
Worm, I think I might be like number 3 here, just Gonski. Honestly, like, you can't make a case for too many of these at all. So I can see how you've landed on Molly Knickers. And as you mentioned, it does look like a bit of a Pete Moody setup.
Yeah.
Probably only concern for me would be heavy across to potentially, what are we going to be on, a good track, soft?
Yeah, definitely.
So it'd be interesting to see how it goes from a heavy across to a good track potentially. And then Gonski, look, it's almost the only other one I can make a case here for. It's already raced across the 1,400 and last start sat 7th, 8th and finished 4th. It was a good 5-6 lengths off the winner. But again, on that heavy track, so I'd be interested to see how it runs on a good, potentially soft track. I think that's the one you'll probably see some improvement. And as you mentioned, definitely a jockey improvement with Blake Shin going on board.
Yeah, 100%. The other one that I've just forgot to mention is 5-Star King. First start for Johnny Sadler. Blinkers on. A little touch of money. If there's money on race day for this horse, after scratchings, I think you've got to have a saver on it, definitely in your exotics, because he had one in the Briley over 1,800 first start 2-year-old and went really well. I think it ran 3rd and was well backed as well. So when Johnny Sadler's horse are well backed, it's time to get involved.
Very nice.
Rosehill, race 9, Matty, you're keen to have a look at?
Yeah, I thought we'd have a look at this one, race 9, later on in the day. Look, a lot of benchmark racing up in Sydney this weekend. A lot of these horses we've seen go around before. Look, there's not going to be a whole lot of pace on this race, so I think that's going to be an important setup, especially for the favourite. And Worm, if you've got the odds there, I'll get you to run us through them.
Yeah, Omni Man is our favourite at $2.80 roughly. Sweet Ride $7. The Bopper $7.50. Zuthas $9. Conscript $11. Dragonstone $15. And I'm just going to say number 5 Ruby Quitness $8.50. Perfect,
thank you, mate. Now look, I'll start off by saying that there are a number of chances within this race. Well, the 4 I'm going to touch on here, Conscript. Now, you need to clearly forget its last start. If you're able to do that, this has been a very consistent horse and has a bundle of ability. If it runs to its best, it is right in this race at $10. Now, don't know what happened last start. I'm going to forget about that. But outside of that, we've seen a really, really strong win versus Dragonstone, I think it was. And if it gets anywhere back to its listed form, I think $10 is way overs for this horse. Worm Dragonstone, it's proven this preparation that it's well and truly up to this class. Now, from barrier number 2, it's going to get the run of the race. and $13 does seem very, very juicy. However, I can't back anyone into this for the win. I think it's got a chance of running the place. Again, $13 does seem juicy, but I just haven't seen enough of this horse crossing the line in front of the rest of the field. Very good at running the place, but yeah, Dragonstone for me, I do have a couple in front of it. Omni-Man is one of them. How impressive was it last start against Passagiata? Strong tempo, and it set Omni-Man up for the win in that race. Look, it's a really good sign that the stable are confident enough to back it up from last weekend, and I think it's a very good sign that they believe it's going to be a winning chance within this race. The one question mark I do have on Omni-Man, it hasn't got Passagiata setting a very strong tempo. Omni-Man from barrier number 11 will come into barrier number 10 with it scratching the Tycoonist. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. I've got it sitting midfield and potentially sitting 2-3 wide here. So I don't necessarily think that $2.80 is a price that I would be advising people to take. And based on its last start win, which was exceptionally impressive, I wouldn't be surprised if it does start short of worm. So, look, Omni-Man, if you like it, I'm not going to talk you out of it. I just don't think the 280 is where I want to be putting my money. When the horse I've got on top is the Bopper. Now, look, I'm exceptionally surprised that Chris Lees and the stable are kicking this horse off over 1,100 metres because it is a winner over 1,000 metres, and generally speaking, it's stuck to that 1,000 metres. But I'm going to trust Chris Lees and the stable that they know what they're doing, and 1,100 metres won't be a problem for this horse. Really good first up form, consistent last preparation, and I'm expecting it to be sitting in the first half of the field. So the Bobbia from barrier number 8, it's going to get a really solid run in this race. And why I've got it on top, Worm, it's the quality. It's been able to run the best time. Now, has been over 1,000 metres. I am leaning towards the fact that Chris Lees and that stable have got this horse ready to go over 1,100 metres. If that's the case, Worm, I think it's going to be exceptionally hard to beat over that last 200 metres. So the Bopper on top for me, and I think the value in this race is going to be Conscript. I believe it's going to be the one with significant improvement. Worm, how did you see this one?
Mate, talk us through the one Zethus and Sweet Ride. I feel both coming out of strong Melbourne races.
Yeah, Zethus, you can definitely make a case for it. Look, you could probably make a case for another 3 or 4 of these. Zethus, I probably haven't seen enough of it running around that benchmark time that I think he's going to be needed to be winning this race. Consistently, it's kind of been in the top 5. Again, similar to Dragonstone, it hasn't really been a proven winner. So for me, that was a reason I've left it out of the numbers. And who was the other one you mentioned? Sweet Ride?
Sweet Ride.
Yeah, Sweet Ride can definitely see how anyone can be landing on that horse. It's been running in group company. If you have a look at some of the horses that it's been just behind and very, very consistent, you can make a very strong case for it with Timmy Clark on board. And again, you're looking at, not Tim Clark on board, Chad Schofield. And around about that $6. Look, if you like it, I'm not going to talk you out of it. As I said at the start, there's quite a few chances within this race. I don't have Sweet Ride within my top 5, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily not going to be a winning chance within the race. So I can't find a reason to talk you out of backing a horse like Sweet Ride. Zeus, on the other hand, I can leave that alone within this company.
Yeah, I can see why Zuthas. Mammoth form. I don't know if that's the right form, but yeah, I just think it was strong races. Bopper, mate, he's got a turn of foot bigger than anything in this race. So if he's within striking distance, yep. Interesting. I'm very keen to take on Omni-Man here. Outside barrier again, 4 in a row. So that's 5 now. It's going to do a bit of work to get across. It's probably the leader. So if anything kicks up on its inside, and as you said, there's no real leader. If they try to turn it upside down, it might have to work a bit more. The extra 100, I don't know about this horse, but big thing for me, it's coming out of a benchmark 78 race. Won well. I'm not knocking that. But it went up 7 rating points for that win. So they're saying that was a massive win. Yeah, it was a nice win, but I don't know about that. Now taking on open grade, there's some horses here like the Bopper, Tycoonus is probably, I don't think, running, Dragonstone, Conscript, Sweet Ride, good 3-year-old form from last prep. Like, geez, there's others you could back here and make money out of other than Omni-Man. Like, I'm just think the price is no good. I think Rachel King on board is a bit iffy. The barrier's iffy. Not going to question the trainer, world class, but just I think coming out of a harder, a lot harder, easier race, and going into this is not ideal for me at $2.40 or something. No thanks.
That's right. Again, exceptionally good win last start, and rating now at 84. It is going up against significantly better horses than what it ran into last start, though. And I do believe you need to take that into consideration. Look, 2 wins in a row, that's winning form. So, as I said during the review, if you do like it, I'm not going to talk you out of it. I do think there's quite a few question marks on the horse, especially given that there is no pace setter within this race. So, look, you could find, even though it's over 1,100 metres, they could get to the 300, and it's a bit of a sit and sprint.
Mate, come on, come with me. Fuck the favourite. Take it on.
And as I said, I can definitely find a case for it. Wide barrier, no pace setter. 2 main reasons I won't be with it.
Come on, come with me. Say it. Fuck the favourite. I love tipping favourites, but I love fucking taking them on as well. So
I'm quite happy if this one loses.
Yep, good. You're coming with me. Fuck the favourite, peoples. We're on. Here we go. Race 9. Fuck the favourite handicap. Round the grounds, Matty. Where are we going?
All right, round the grounds, mate. We're going to go down to Caulfield, and this is one of your horses. So I wouldn't be surprised if you got in around the grounds as well. But race number 8, Ingratiating. Horrible last start when Cy won. But Worm, is Cy racing in this race?
No, he'll be on to bigger and better things, I reckon.
Okay, Ingratiating is not onto bigger and better things. It's one of these horses that's going to be trying to fill its purse.
Yeah.
Group 3 company. Anything else in this race that takes your fancy?
Not really, and that's what scares me.
No, there's not much in this race, Worm, and that's why I'm surprised you didn't land on it. So, Worm, I'd be very, very surprised if Ingratiating is not in the top 3. So, due to its disappointing run last start, that $4 mark is going to be taken by me.
Yep. I can see why, mate. I backed it last start for the for the podcast. Left it out of my numbers for my Saturday set. Geez, I thought Ben Mallon was a bit sleepy, and when the gap appeared, he went to launch to go through it. Now, was that in the head of the horse, or was it just not fit enough? I'm hoping not fit enough. And Blake Shin on board, mate. I could be with you come Saturday morning because Monmouth, it's our time. Yeah, no thanks.
That's what I mean. General Bow's in there at 420. Now, I know General Bow bet at home last start, but Ingratiating was horrible. And Blake Shin on board, yeah, definite upgrade. So, look, I think Ingratiating this time around could be finding the winning post. Then we're race 2 up in Sydney. Now, tell me now, that a 280, 290 favourite, it is definitely the horse to beat. And ran an exceptional race. If you haven't seen the replay, go and watch it because it was exceptional. Not going to be with it though, because I think this horse starts probably around about that $2 mark. If you like it now, back it now, because I think they come through closer to race time. I'm going to be with Listen to Zoo, $15, $16. Third up over 1,200 metres, solid first and second up, and ran home exceptionally well within both races. I'll be taking the bigger odds, $15, $16 in. Look, what is, I'd probably say, a race that's got 4 or 5 chances. As I said, Telnina is definitely the one to beat in the race. But these 2-year-olds, I'm not quite comfortable taking those short odds on these 2-year-olds. And I think Listen to Zoo is a horse in the race that's got the most upside. So I'll be having a play at Listen to Zoo. I think it'll probably include a place bet in there as well.
I did the race because you were meant to preview it. So I've done notes on this.
Okay.
I think you can play a Quinella in this race if you're a Quinella player. That's one Inhibitus. Number one.
Inhibitions?
Yep. Fuck, I'm good to see. I learnt my reading from high school. Jumped out well. I think it has good form. Barrier 1 is a slight concern because if number 10, Turamina, leads, which I expect it to do, Timmy Clark will not give a gap here for it to go through. It'll just depend on its outside if it can get that gap. So I think they're the two that finish the race. But Listen to Zoo, he looked good on the corner last start and just didn't let down. Now, was that track bias? Was it just second up Blues? Waller third up, fourth up. Deadly gets third up. Definitely goes in my numbers. And the other one is Fukabana. Arrogant win first start out of Eagle Farm, I think it was, or Doomben in Brisbane. I don't think the 1,000 suited. I think the 1,200 suits it better. Wide draw probably goes back and running on. But, yeah, I think you can play Quinella's tries first 4s around 1, 3, 8, and 10. They're the only 4 that can win. But in your case, maybe 8 can win by nose.
Yep, don't mind it. As I said, I'll be definitely having something on it. The place, it's about $4 a place at the moment, so that's almost a winner.
Beautiful. There you go. Multi-time, Matty. What are you throwing in?
The 2 I just mentioned. So Ingratiating the Place and Listen to Zoo the Place. So we should have a bit of value in there this week, Worm.
Yep. I'm going to throw in race 7, Caulfield Varvia, the Place. Just go and watch its last run. I don't know how it doesn't run top 3 at $1.40. Not against much. So I think it can do that again. Maybe just track bias might cost it the race with a middle to wide barrier and, coming from near last.
Up against the boys?
Yeah, no issue with that at this time of year.
It's a pretty soft race. I can see how you found it.
She won't be in season this time of year. And my last leg, I'm going Collingwood over Port Adelaide, $1.95 Collingwood. How is
I'm calling bullshit on this.
No, mate.
Have you landed a footy tip all year?
A couple, yeah.
you are just playing this so Port get the win.
There might be some knowledge to that, mate, but no. But honestly, how do you give $1.95 to a side that is on top and that is the best side in the comp by a good couple of games? How do you give them $1.95? They travel well. They just tick every box. And $1.95, they are just. Well, I'm almost going to use the M word. That's how. Yeah, I was expecting $1.40 Collingwood after
that's fair enough. I think they're well and truly overs as well. So it's a little bit of value we can add to the multi.
Yeah, so that is Sydney race 2. Listen to Zoo.
You know what you can do? If Port Adelaide, because Port Adelaide will win now, but they'll probably win by about 14 points. So go to the line around about 20 points. You'll probably get about $1.40, $1.45.
Yeah, they won't. And if Port Adelaide somehow pull their finger out, they won't win by much. But Yeah, well said, Matty. I think, $1.40. The line, Collingwood Head Start is the place to be, whatever that'll be. So that's Sydney Race 2, Listen to Zoo, the place. Melbourne Race 7, Varvia, the place. Melbourne Race 8, Ingratiating, the place. And Collingwood to beat Port Adelaide, $17.
Juicy.
Bloody juicy. We haven't had a juicy one for a while, so good to come off a freshen up and snag a 4-leg multi.
Like it.
Pineapple time. I had a few decisions to make here because there's a few horses that I like, so it was hard to toss up. It was either Molly Knickers, but it's a 2-year-old, and we've learnt our lessons, Matty, throughout this year of 2-year-olds. We just got to leave them alone, I think. But I'm going to go Caulfield Race 3, number 1, Rolls. Matty Raymond, Harry Grace on board. Currently $2.30, great price to get involved. Been up a while, I know, since winning the Warrnambool Cup. That is a concern, but there was a few runs that maybe set the end of prep, but the last 3 runs have been superb, and I think they weren't end of run preps. They were just runs to tick over to keep it going this far into a prep, and just, it's trials. 2 back, 2.7 lengths off Mimi's Reward. We know what it did last week, and it still hurts me. But last start, 0.4 off Young Werther. We know it's a good horse on its day, running in the big Group 1s only last prep, only giving 1.5 to 2 kilos away to its rivals. And it should be giving close to 4 kilos to 10 kilos off these handicap ratings. So jockey is no concern. Been on its back plenty of times this prep. Will be up on speed, and it's just let's fucking go Rolls. Race 3, number 1.
Like it. Yes, it was one of the ones we were looking at for around the ground. So glad that we've landed on one of them. I'll be interested to see the other ones you're considering. I imagine they'll be for the community on Saturday morning.
Yep, you'll get them Saturday morning. You'll get them on TikTok. You'll get them on Twitter. You will get them, but if you're in the community, you get them a hell of a lot earlier.
Very nice.
You'll get the best price when they especially drift after we back them. But anything else to add, Matty?
No, mate. I'm looking forward to the footy. Is it Friday night, Ports and Pies?
Yeah, Saturday night.
Saturday night, good.
I feel sorry for my under 9s if we get beat on Sunday morning. I'll be in great form. They gave me a lot of shit about last week about Carlton getting up, so they're in fine form, the little kids. It's like being in primary school again.
It's all right. I'll let them know.
Yeah, no, cheers, mate. It'll be, they're all Collingwood supporters too. So that's going to be
beautiful.
A great 8:30 game down in wherever we're playing. But thank you everyone for watching, listening, however you do watch and listen to us. Thank you for joining. Hopefully you find plenty of winners. More importantly, we find you plenty of winners. And yeah, we'll speak to you next week. I think it might be Moonee Valley, first week back. And we'll be back.
Not looking forward to racing at the Valley. That track will be in mint condition.
Yep, leaders, look out. But have a great weekend, everybody. And yeah, jump onto our socials and get involved. Let us know what your thoughts are for the weekend. Have a great weekend.
I'm not a good person, but it just goes to show that good things do happen to bad people. So anyone out there who's up against the wall, fucking stick to it. Every cent you got, your rent, your electricity bill, if you're going to buy your missus a ring, don't fucking do it. Keep punting. Keep fucking punting.